All right. We should be all locked and loaded. Let me see. Boom, we got action. What's going on, family? Hopefully, you guys are having an awesome Monday. Hopefully, your weekend was phenomenal. Hopefully, you're not in California right now dealing with a hurricane and an earthquake and a tsunami and everything else that nature can throw at you. Because, geez, oh, peace. All right? Let me go ahead and shrink my big mug down. We got my bro, Mr. Mike Sotero himself in the building. MetaMask Mike himself. DeFi Mike himself. Let's see here.
What's good, boys and girls, men and women of all ages? Hope everybody's okay in California if you're over there.
Man.
Canada's got some fires.
Dude, like, it's just nature is just fed up with us at this point.
Yeah. Man. Europe, how's Europe doing, everybody? Anybody in Europe's probably perfect.
Right.
Perfect weather.
Right. Man, dude. It's a team hanging in there. Nice. Definitely hang in there, family. Let me go ahead. Now, listen, we had a bit of a natural disaster ourselves in crypto.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and quick refresh of CoinGecko really quickly. We got Bitcoin hanging out at around $26,000. We got Ethereum hanging out at around 166. You know, I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm not even gonna say that. We got Tether at the opposite at 999, which is really weird and kind of creepy when you look at that. We got BNB at around 210, XRP at around 52 cents right now. Looking at the top performers for the last 24 hours. Rollbit, never heard of you. We got Optimism up around 4%, Litecoin 2%, ETH Classic, Caspa, Bitcoin SV, Pax, Gate, BitGet, and then we got Huobi and a few of the others bringing up the rear here. At the moment, family, this is pretty much what we've been talking about. We were telling you guys we could see another move to the downside. Mike's been screaming it for the last few months, telling you guys 25K is still in play. 23K could still be in play. 20,000 could potentially still be in play, right? And the one thing I'm noticing right now is we just saw a couple $100 billion leave crypto, family. This is the part where a lot of people don't understand what we've been talking about throughout these last few days, weeks, and months, where we keep telling you guys the on-ramps to crypto have become a lot more difficult. So having money come into the market has become a little bit more difficult, but having money leave has never been easier. All right. And I really feel like we're just at an inflection point right now where Bitcoin and crypto in general has just reached a level where, and I kind of go to the chart and explain it to you guys a little bit, because I think sometimes it just helps to kind of have that visual representation here. So right here, we're on a daily on the BLX chart. And just for like argument's sake, because I was going through some stuff showing everybody the old days in crypto back when everybody was, you know, brand new. We couldn't even spell wallet. Nobody knew what a Satoshi was. So you'll notice right here, back in 2017, 2018, right, the markets ran from a low of around 190 bucks ish, maybe even down here at around $170, right? And then we just went on an absolute tear straight up to like 20K, right? This is the thing. That tear from $170 to around 20K happened because of mom and pops and a few people that were in the you know, the elite sectors, if you will, that had the Uber dollars laying around, a couple billion here, a couple 100 million there, and they decided that Bitcoin made sense to them, and they jumped into the space, right? Those days, it was a lot easier to see price action flinch and move based off of the normal, you know, people that were participating. Now that we see Bitcoin at levels where we're seeing the $60,000, almost $70,000 BTCs, it's a lot different than what it used to be, right? We're noticing now that we have plenty of institutional players showing up. We got banks getting ready to jump in. We got businesses ready to jump in. Everybody's ready to go hard in the paint for crypto. But the thing is, mom and pops can't move the market like they used to. All right, long gone are the days where, you know, a couple people in the neighborhood decided they all wanted to buy Bitcoin and it made the price flinch. Those days are gone, right? We're at a crazy price point now where we need to see, you know, the big dollars coming in. And like I said before, there's just not a lot of on-ramps anymore for the big dollars to come in. So the mom and pops that are coming in trying to get in, they don't have the mindset that you guys have, right? This is different. You guys have been here. You guys are time tested, right? You guys are battle tested. You've been here. You've experienced it for the most part. So when you see the media and social media and, you know, everybody who's been here for a little bit of time but doesn't have the environment that you guys have here in DCX, they become nervous. They become apprehensive. They become a little more skittish. They're not willing to stand in the storm when they see pullbacks, right? When they see the big sell-off, right? And I told you guys, we've been hanging out here at these highs for a good amount of time. There's not an infinite amount of buy orders. There's only so long price can hang out at those levels. And we pretty much drew this out, right? I looked at this thing. I told you guys, hey, guys, if we don't see the market bounce off of this thing and move to the upside, low point to high point, right, we could see a nice sell-off. And, I mean, I can't make this stuff up, right? Fibs, right where we need to see them. Now, here's the kicker. Price had actually moved down, tested these levels, soaked up a lot of liquidity, came back up, retested again, and now we're starting to see a little bit of growth, but not enough to sustain a huge rally. Meaning, we may see another sell-off, okay? Because when you look to the left, what do you see? A small but noticeable what? Rally, base, rally, right? Price moved fast, slowed down for a moment, and left fast. What does that look like? Take that, bring that across. We can change that to white just so it stands out. And I talked about this Thursday when I went over engulfing candles with you guys and kind of showed you a couple of things. And just, you know, we went over some stuff. You guys were having like aha moments left and right because I was breaking down a couple of things when it came down to the engulfing candles. It's in the recordings. You can check it out. But this right now is a scenario where you've seen huge buying potential, rally to the upside. We've broken below it, right? Closed below. And now we have a zone that has some buying potential left or buying pressure left, facing a zone that now also has selling pressure right above it. We're going to need to see a big candle break clean above and close in the high 26Ks. All right. I'm just saying, family, it's definitely in a position right now where we want to start seeing some consistency from the buyers, and it's gonna take a little bit of time. And I know we got stuff going on over in China because everybody knows China right now has pretty much been the lifeblood that most of the capital has been flowing through. But now we got some more things going on with China and good old Evergrande or Evergrande or whatever you want to call it. They're having another issue with those guys again, and their real estate over in China has just been really, really, really shaky with all the ghost cities and giant buildings that have just been sitting there with nobody living in them and people investing money into those things. So it's kind of become a bit of a money pit that's just bottomless at this point. So China's dealing with some issues with their real estate market, which could spark a whole lot of issues globally if their economy starts to fall apart, because China silently has been one of the best growth economies since 2008. And over time, over the last few years, it slowed down. Obviously, COVID slowed everybody down. But China slowed down to around like 3% growth. So they're kind of running out of that sustainability that they had years previous. So it's getting very interesting. And I've also looked at some stuff with the bond markets, and bonds have just become super attractive. People are rather going for the bond yield as opposed to leaning into risk on assets like crypto, even the stock market, right? When we go over here and look at S&P, right, we've seen the major sell-off, a little bit of growth for the day, but honestly, guys, like, it's not going to be anything I think that's going to be sustainable enough to have us rally back up again. I was looking at the dollar index as well, testing a level right now where it looks like we're getting a little bit of a sell-off, but nothing too major. And I talked about this trend line I was looking at. We've kind of broken above it, and now we're at an inflection point for both markets with the dollar index and with the crypto. We have this trend line to the downside that we're breaking above and holding above slightly, and we're testing this area of potential supply up here. If we see a rally from the dollar back into this zone, I am telling you now, crypto is going to see another move down. People are going to leave crypto, either lean more into the dollar or they're going to lean more into the bond market. All right. And bond, like the 2-year bond yields right now have been, let me see if I can pull this up for you guys real quick. Let me just move this out the way for just a second. Go to my main. I believe I had the bonds down here. Let me see here. Let's see. Yeah, government bonds. This isn't the one I need. This is here we go. This is the one I need. So this is the 2-year bond yields. You can see right now, these are ready to break out. Okay? If you don't understand what I'm showing you right now, people are getting into bonds because they know the yield will be much more beneficial as opposed to just sitting inside of risk on assets. All right? And if you don't know what this is, let me just kind of put a fib on it because I think you guys understand fibs better than anything. Right? So you're noticing that the market has tested these levels pretty consistently, right? And what have we seen? Price break above, pull back, break above, pull back, break above, and now we're holding above. It's almost if it's ready to break and finally make that new high and run to the upside. It's only so long price is going to keep testing these levels, making higher lows and higher highs, and we're definitely trending to the upside as of recent. So yeah, short-term bonds are definitely going higher right now. People are leaning into those more than anything, and the rest of the market is looking to kind of bleed out. So if these break out and run, I am telling you now, the only other thing I'm looking at outside of this, and let me just go back. Actually, I'm going to keep this chart here, and I'm going to double back, and I want to show you guys the other thing I've been noticing as well, because I believe if I show you guys this, you'll kind of see where I'm going. Now, this is the VIX. I've been talking about the VIX for months. Volatility index, right? We've been going back and forth about the VIX. VIX came down, tested some levels down here, and we're looking to spike back up. If this volatility index looks to break back higher, and we start getting back into like the 20s, maybe even like the 25s, that could become very problematic. Because if we start seeing some higher VIX volatility and we start breaking higher, something in the market's going to break. I don't know what it's going to be. It could be stocks. It could be real estate. It could be whatever. But something's going to break. It's only so much it can take. Okay? Now, when we get up into these areas, so the thing is, the way the VIX usually works is something breaks first, The volatility continues to run. We get into the 40s, right? Hopefully we don't go into anything higher than that. We get into the 40s. And then after that, we run into a scenario where it starts to pull back and then we get to some more consistency afterwards. All right. But it's starting to heat up now. Like, we're definitely lining it up. And honestly, I don't want to say I sound like a broken record, but this just looks like more fuel for what we've been needing in the first place. All right. We know these markets have been just stabilizing. There hasn't been a whole lot of volatility inside of crypto. And with crypto, this is rare, very rare to just see Bitcoin and crypto just resting at levels for months, not weeks, but months. All right. So whenever we see these things, if your baby's been crying, I calm the baby down. I do my best. All right? I have the soothing voice. So when you guys start seeing these things line up, start paying attention, because it's bigger than just, oh, what do I do? Where's my entry point? Start getting in the mindset of this stuff happens over and over and over. The next time it happens, you're going to be prepared. That's what I want you guys to start looking at now, because you're going to get used to the signs. You're going to get used to the rhythm of the market. You're going to get used to the ebbs and flows that a lot of people just don't pick up on. The baby whisper. If only it was that easy. But yeah, like, you guys are going to start to really get used to this stuff. And then, like I said, we're going to have FOMC meetings and stuff like that next month. So that'll probably give us a little bit more of a real, trajectory. But I want you guys, if you haven't written this down, I'm going to say it again. And I'm going to go back over to this BLX chart, and I'm going to ask Mike's opinion on this as well, because I definitely want to know what my bro thinks about this. I honestly believe, and this is just me, it's my personal thought process on this, is that I don't believe we're going to see an all-time high for Bitcoin, all right, until we get 2 out of these 3 things. 1, we're going to need regulation. You can write it down. Tell your friends and family about it. They don't believe you. 1, we're going to need regulation. 2, we're going to need an ETF. Or 3, we're going to need Jerome Powell to start saying the word rate cut. All right? 2 out of those 3. Y'all like that? 2 out of those 3 has to happen.
Don't ask me to do that. I definitely can't do that.
That's my inner video gamer right there. That's being able to Call of Duty. So I want you guys to start really getting into the mindset of 2 of those 3 things has to happen. All right. Because the thing is, we've been at this level for a very long time, and now we're starting to see money leave the space. It's harder to see the money come back in. We just seen $200 billion leave crypto. It's harder to get that money back in. Keep that in mind. They're going to want to continue to draw fear, impatience, anxiety, all the above into this space, because we don't have those crypto-friendly banks anymore. So it's easier to exit than it is to stay. All right? And I want you guys to understand that for us right now, they're going to put us through the ringer. Mentally, it's going to be exhausting for a lot of people that aren't used to this space. Some of you guys want to come in and just overnight see crazy gains because you watched a video about 2020, 2019. And that's just not where we are right now. We're not in that part of the cycle. But I want you guys to buckle up, because if we do see another move down, I promise you, Mike's not going to be frowning. I'm not going to be frowning. Nick's not going to be frowning. This is the stuff we get excited about, because we know when price dips like this, this is what we've been lining ourselves up. And now, like I said before, you've heard BlackRock wants to get in now. You've heard Fidelity wants to get in now. Charles Schwab wants to get in now. And we heard that Jamie Dimon right now and the rest of the boys over at JP Morgan Chase are getting on board. Silently, though. When those big players, those big banks and hedge funds show up, they bring their habits with them. And we know how they play. So when we know how they play, we got to be prepared for them, because they're going to bring their money. They're going to bring their value, but they're going to bring all their bad habits of manipulation with them. And with us being seasoned traders, we got to know how to navigate when they come in. All right? Because the average person, they not used to them games. They're not used to that kind of manipulation. Some of y'all done traded GBP, JPY. Yeah, that's the energy that's about to show up in crypto. Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. That's oh my God. But But we are used to it. We've seen it. We understand it. Yes, GJ is crazy. They call it the dragon for a reason. All right. But we understand how this works. We're going to be taking profits early and often. We're not going to be in here getting emotional about it. And some of us are going to be playing a different type of game when it comes to positional trading, long-term trading, where you guys are going to be just entering a trade and saying, I'm not touching it. I got the risk management I need on it, and I'm leaving it alone, right? Some of you guys are going to be playing that inside of your portfolios, where you're like, I'm just buying in this bull run, and I'm selling 2 bear markets down the line, right? Like, that's the thought process a lot of you guys have. And that's fine. I ran into a student a few weeks ago. He bought Bitcoin back in 2018. And he was like, I have no idea how to sell this stuff. I caught you way early in my trading career, and I'm still holding on to it. And I think he had maybe a couple thousand in there, and he was extremely up. And he was like, I didn't even know it was that up. And I was like, if you keep holding it, you might see better days as well. But he wanted to get out, and I said, okay, I'll help you get out. Right? Showed him what to do, gave him the whole play. He ran it and was thankful for it. But I'm looking at this stuff now thinking, those people that we were in the earlier days, they still don't have that vision for it. They still saw it as a quick get rich, get in, get out thing, and they still don't understand the actual future vision of this space. They don't see it. And it's like, for people that came in the 1930s and invested in the stock market, their legacy was cemented for decades after that. Buying Coca-Cola in the 30s, right? Coming in and getting these different, companies way back, Ford, right? GM, right? Those staple companies in the stock market have done nothing but grown and advanced and consistently yielded crazy gains. But for a lot of people, they couldn't withstand the pain. It was right in the middle of the Great Depression. Some people just had to sell because they didn't see the opportunity for what it was truly worth for generational sake. They were so focused on the right now and the next year and the year after, right? Some people might have lasted 10 years and they still exited the game way too early, right? So I look at you guys now, and I'm looking at you guys. I'm hoping somebody here has that vision of longevity. They're seeing themselves in their 50s and 60s and 70s, and they're saying, this is the legacy I want to be able to say. I stood in the storm, and now I sit back and watch yields just come in week after week, month after month, because you guys held those kind of positions. When people were screaming, oh, I got to get out, you guys held. And like I said, it may not be an easy thing to hold. It may not be an easy thing to dollar cost average when you see price going lower, but you have to have a bigger vision than what you see today. Because none of this stuff is forever. None of these pullbacks are forever in this market. All right? And crypto's not leaving. It's not going to go away. It's not going to vanish. There's too many big money movers in it. For the most part, Michael Saylor's going to keep buying it, but we don't. All right? So, exactly, y'all beat me to it. So, we're just at a place right now where everything is really just in alignment. Everything is really where we want to see it. This pullback doesn't even factor on the Richter scale. Right? I know we got hurricanes and earthquakes and all this other crazy stuff, lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my, I get it. But when we pull a fib out and you see price respecting levels, it shows that there is a pattern being played out in front of us. It shows that there is a certain area where these algorithms are triggering, and it's our job to pay attention to it. Now, if we drop any lower, right? What am I seeing now? Price potentially coming down to areas like we talked about. Even down here at the 22,000 to 20,000. Now, my thing is this. If we break down to 20,000 to 22,000, you guys are going to see tons of good press for Bitcoin and crypto. Because as I said before, I just named all those big institutions, all those big hedge funds that want in on Bitcoin. They don't want to buy Bitcoin at $25,000 a coin. They don't want to buy Bitcoin at $30,000 a coin. They want it cheap. And they don't care who's in their way to get what they want done. Because once that ETF is launched, you have to have the physical Bitcoin on hand. There is no other nice way to say it. You have to have it on hand. So, how much Bitcoin do you want to buy at $30,000? BlackRock, 0. But if they can get it down here at around the low 20s, that's an area where they know the demand alone, they will never see this price again once they come in and swoop it all up at 20. Okay? I'm just being honest. I'm just telling you guys what I'm seeing right now. At the end of the day, this is a game where the big institutions and the banks know that we need them to come in to move this market, and they've aligned themselves where the other crypto-friendly banks are non-existent now, and they know they have a foothold where they can come in and manipulate, buy this up when they're ready to, push it as low as they need it to be, and then change the narrative when they're ready to, and watch this thing take off. They know this now. This is no longer a, hey, let's see how many people are going to move this market. They know the people that have been holding this long are pretty much going to continue to hold, and they're going to dip it down as much as they can to scare the heebie-jeebies out of the non-believers. And then after that, it'll be gone, and you'll never see these prices. And I mean never see these prices again. It's like saying, I can't wait for Bitcoin to come back to 1K. It ain't happening, Captain. It just ain't. Right? So when it leaves and we see a six-figure BTC, and somebody saying, I can't wait for it to come back to 20K. It ain't. It's gone. It's officially gone. The train has left the station. No do-overs, no resets. It's out of there. All right? So from what I'm seeing, price action-wise, yes, we have structure. Yes, price is respecting the levels. Yes, there are buy orders waiting. But are there infinite buy orders? Not at all. If we spend too much time in this area, it is not a good sign. If we break lower, am I going to be upset? Not at all. Not at all. I'm coming in here with a big old bucket. Like, I'm going to take all of these. Yo, anybody going to miss these? Like, that's the attitude I'm going to have. So I want you guys to have that same mindset towards this stuff. Like, do not let YouTube and Twitter or X get you all riled up. This is what we were expecting. We definitely want to see the market get flushed out. Yes, we had a nice relief rally, but there's going to be pullbacks. And if we get the full look, right, seeing price come down anywhere in here in 19, I'm not sure we're going to see that. I just don't think we're going to see a 19K or even an 18K BTC. That's wishful thinking at best, because the demand for Bitcoin is still there. Like, I don't see, and we're talking about globally, not just US. Like, I just don't see a bunch of millionaires and billionaires sitting on the sideline watching Bitcoin hit. I don't see Michael Saylor watching Bitcoin come down here to 19 to 18K, and nobody's coming in here with a Brinks truck backing it up. I just don't. But that's just my theory, bro. So right now, Mike, where are you at with it, bro? What do you think's going on right now at the moment?
I think a lot of people are in trouble. You know, I just saw some new numbers that just came out, and once again, me and Kurt are not financial advisors, but you know, these numbers are going to be a little different based on where you live, but I think it's a time to pay attention, to get educated, right? Some new reports say those that are 45 and older are saying it's going to take $1.1 million to retire, according to the 2023 U.S. Retirement Survey. Median household income in America right now is $75,000, so that's two people, average earning about $40,000 a year. I think these are some things to think about. And a recent report from Edelman Financial Engine saying Gen Z and millennials are going to need between $3 to $5 million to retire. So I'm not an accountant, I'm not a financial advisor, but I can definitely tell you that these numbers are a lot farther than they were 1 or 2 generations ago to feel comfortable or to retire. Yeah. So what does this mean? It's people are going to need to create additional streams of income. They're going to need to find ways to make more money. And let's be honest, right now unemployment is very low on paper. If that number starts to go up, I mean, do the math here. This is, you're never going to get here with this. Okay.
Yeah. No.
So there's a situation.
To laugh at that, but that's scary, bro. That is so scary when you think about back in the day when our grandparents, they could work a job and still be able to like pay the bills, save up to get a home, and be able to provide with one job with the mom staying home taking care of the kids. Like that's literally gone. Like just gone. Like you can't even imagine. Like you need 2 incomes, and not even just to say, oh, we're gonna get ahead. It's just to be like maintained.
Yep.
It's scary, bro.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, we're showing you guys like crypto and all that stuff, but really, like one of my missions and my purposes is to help people like think for themselves, and that's why I love crypto and I fell in love with it, because you're going against society's financial systems that have been in place. You're going against the education system in a way, and you're going against systems that have been here for hundreds of years. So, but well, I know that I'm right. in the fact that this is a place to spend time and invest energy and invest money in because of things like this, right? SEC, we saw what happened with Coinbase last week. Coinbase is launching a futures platform, CFTC regulated, incredible. Now the SEC saying that they're going to be looking to approve a futures ETF, and it's the Ethereum futures ETF by October. These are all bullish things, as Kurt said, like ETFs coming in. I definitely agree with those 2 out of the 3 that Kurt mentioned. So this is really big. Interesting today, I think Vitalik, founder of ETH, just sent like a couple million ETH to Coinbase as well.
Yeah, that was kind of like, oh, all right, Vitalik, don't scare people.
Yeah, interesting. Couple other key things I just wanted to talk about really briefly here is you have some big unlocks happening this week. Lido, AVAX, YGG is not really a big one. But these are some events that I would pay attention to, especially something like AVAX, okay? And I'm going to really watch AVAX's price action. August 26th, 10 million AVAX tokens, about almost 3% of the circulating supply, are being unlocked. So these are events that are normal. They happen. But like it says, it does freak people out. And sometimes there's a huge sell-off, which could lead to some opportunity, right? Here you go. AVAX is down 13% during last week and is down 2% today. So keep an eye on this. We might look at AVAX potentially if it gets to some certain levels.
You're softening up on Avalanche, bruh?
I've been watching it here on DeFi Llama.
Okay.
This has actually gone down. It's one of those things, right, where like in bull markets, it's always like random layer ones that just pop, right? So could it be Phantom this time? Could it be, obviously I think Solana is going to be in the mix, but could it be AVAX? I am looking at FTM and I am looking at AVAX. And I'm looking at AVAX. I forgot what article I saw. They're doing something with somebody. I got to find it. Now, this is really interesting as well. We've talked about Arbitrum. Arbitrum is getting a lot of transactions. Not a fan of their tokenomics, but they're seeing an increase of wallets using Arbitrum. We're seeing more futures platforms built on Arbitrum. And this product, real quick, right here is pretty cool. Arbitrum Orbit. I would go look this up, everybody, if you're a little bit more advanced. Similar to like Optimism's Stack protocol inside, which enables the creation of new blockchains with its own privacy, permissions, and fee token and governance. So Arbitrum and Optimism. Somebody asked me which one would I choose. So let's look. Arbitrum has a 10x between fully diluted and market cap. So there's 10 times more this number than this number. That's one thing I would keep in mind. Optimism, it's literally 2 spots behind it, is about 5 times or 6 times more the fully diluted to the market cap. Now, Optimism, the all-time low was 40 cents. All-time low on Arbitrum, it actually might be about the price now, 91 cents. So I like Optimism a little bit more because that's what this protocol is built on. So if you guys don't know, Coinbase, 10x means 10 times that number, okay? Coinbase has a layer 2, right? And they're using Optimism, and actually the base transactions have just actually passed, I guess, the original layer of Optimism and the Arbitrum network in transactions. So people are building on base. Right now it's a lot of meme tokens. One of the meme coins was that product called, I think it was Band, that Sam Bankman-Fried rug pulled. And then he got put in prison, actually. He's actually right now in jail.
He just can't help
I don't know
himself.
if you saw what he requested. He requested to be off on the weekends out of jail.
I'm not trying to laugh at that, but like, who do you think you are, dude?
Yeah.
Like raise his head. Can I like head out Saturdays? Got some stuff I gotta do. Like, yeah, you got some stuff you gotta do.
That's so funny.
Dude.
That's wild. So interesting. Somebody asked the question, what is the difference between layer one? Yeah, so layer one is something like a Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's a layer one network. Layer two means it's built on top of something. So like Base is actually built on the Ethereum network. Polygon, for example, was built on the Ethereum network and helps with like transactions per second and lower fees and all that stuff. Yeah, so those are a couple key things there. If you guys were on the session last week, I think that was the one that Kurt wasn't able to make. Structuring your portfolio. Oh yeah, it was a makeup session we did. I did favorite this. I've had hundreds of people reached out about this one, putting it in the favorite. So I actually just added it down here, talking about main cap, mid cap, low cap. I went through the lists again. I would highly recommend checking that out. Let me know in the chat right now if you were able to watch that live or watch the recording and you liked it. But I would definitely take a look at that. And then last couple things on my end. Okay, two things. And I really wanted to speak about this today and definitely get Kurt's opinion on this. So I want to give you three things to understand. Okay, we'll look at some charts in a second. But one, because this is like some of the emotions that have taken place since last week. One, the markets aren't going anywhere. Okay? If they go lower, we have a plan. If they go higher, we have a plan. Yep. Two, there is not always a trade to take. This is why people lose money in trading. They think they need to trade every day. No, you don't. You don't need to be in the market always. You don't need to have MetaTrader 4 open. The biggest mistake new investors and new traders make. And then the third thing is do not break your rules for anything or anyone. What do you mean, Mike? Anyone? I used to go to events, right, when I first started, and I felt like I needed to show off that I was trading around my friends, and I would lose money because of that. How stupid is that? Like, but that's what I used to do. Oh, Kurt, I think you're, oh, no, never mind. It's good. It's really stupid, right?
Yeah.
So you don't break your rules that you set for building your portfolio and also for anyone, right? You know, you're going on a date, don't enter a trade trying to show off to that guy or to that girl. You're going to lose the account, you're going to blow the account, and you're not going to be able to afford the dinner, right? Don't do those things. And then the last thing, and we'll take a look at some charts here. Kurt getting excited because I'm going on the Cardano chart.
Let's go.
We're not looking at the chart yet. This is, okay, so I gave you what you need to understand. How did I title that? Yeah, what you need to understand. This is when I understand, okay? Two different W's. So when you understand, and hopefully this is helping somebody on here, when you understand or when I understand my emotions. Put a 1 in the chat if you're an emotional person. Some of you are going to put 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 to infinity. Right? So when I understand my emotions, if you're greedy, this skill set reveals that. Number two is when I understand other people's emotions. And this is where wealth is created.
Yep.
This is like the hardest part. Because if I can control my emotions, and I know Kurt is going to sell all of his crypto at 20,000, and then I'm going to buy it from him at 15,000, and then it goes to 100, boom, transfer of wealth, transfer of money. From impatient or from really emotional to somebody that has emotional intelligence. And then the third thing is when I understand that there's emotions in the candles. There's emotions in the charts. Put it in the chat, I will win. And this is like the mystery of the journey that most people go on and they never get results in this space because they can't understand these three things. Their emotions, other people's emotions. So when we look at like liquidity, okay, here we go. When we look at like liquidity, you take this trend line, and we've been talking about this since last year, so I don't want to really hear it. We talked about this trend line right here. Obviously, it was just broken. What are we seeing right here when this is forming? We're seeing emotions buying, and then emotions seeing, oh, this trend is breaking, sell, 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 and it takes that liquidity. And now we're seeing, like Kurt showed you, that price could bounce from here. And if you guys are in my pip talk, I sent out this level right here where I said this is the first zone that I'm watching for potential a bullish bounce. Now, if price, in my opinion, comes up here and creates a lower high, then yeah, this could easily continue into something in here. Easily. If price gives us a strong break of structure and gets above 31,000, then I think this is going to continue. But we have been waiting, and if you've been in the classes, we have been waiting, okay, for this break of liquidity. We've slowly gotten it, and on higher time frames, this is where you can see that. You can't see that on 1 minute, okay, even though I do use the lower time frames for certain things. So this is the first level. This would be the second level. I don't know if we'll come down here. I think it'll take a lot.
Yeah.
But if price can hang out here and get above this liquidity, like this is such a cool level here that we've seen, because look, price was here pre-FTX, summer of last year. It treated it like resistance, but really, what is this? It's liquidity. So money sitting right here.
Yep.
So I think the next time price can get back into this level, I think we're going to have a very strong push.
Swiss cheese. It's just orders. You just got buy orders and sell orders waiting at areas, and it's just not an infinite amount of orders. We filled a really good amount of those sell orders over and over and over. So like you said, when price returns, there's not an infinite amount of sell orders at that level. Like, especially when there's a huge demand for it and the narrative has changed. Oh yeah, that area is going to be Swiss cheese, hot knife through butter.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to try to short that and get wrecked. So that's exciting.
Right.
For ETH, I know a lot of you guys have been asked about ETH. You know, ETH does look a little bit more bearish. I mean, now we swept this low. So ETH came down here and it took out this money right here. And sure, ETH could push up. I'd love to see ETH at 1,500 to look to start the DCA there again. And then just a couple altcoins that we have on the exchange ideas would be something like, well, this is from that class. Make sure you guys go watch that. Let me move this red line. Oh yeah, DOT is in our DCA zone. Okay, so we're looking for DOT here between 390 and 490. This is in our DCA zone. We've been waiting for these levels for a long time. I do like DOT down there. And XRP, you know, this is how you know what we teach works, because when we talk about levels of liquidity, what is that, right? You saw literally XRP come all the way back down for this money right here, and watch how this thing plays out. I mean, this was a very fast boom. Took the buy orders, and if I had a buy limit, let's say down there at, let's say 44 cents, and that gets activated, I'm already up 20% on that money. 20% of $100 is $20. What's 20% of 100 million?
Yeah.
And that's how you have to think. Okay. And now we're going to see if this thing wants to continue. But that's a very, 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 very clean. I'm going to go grab this money, take people's monies, lunch money, and then boom. That is very nice. And then remember, I'm always looking at higher time frames. So what's this doing on, let's say, like the 2 week or the weekly? You know, price came up here, swept that liquidity, pulled back down. Just like Bitcoin, guess what? This had a level of liquidity too.
Yep.
And that huge wick that we saw liquidated over $1 billion. And you know what's amazing about crypto is all of this information is public. On whatever that day was, last week, there was over $1 billion of liquidations right here. Last week. And we can see, look, past 12 hours. Let's actually go 4 hours, that's fine. Even 1 hour. Most of the market is looking bearish, right? Looking for a lot of short positions. And we don't trade off this, but a lot of short positions right now. So seeing this thing bounce, very nice. Now remember, we still did have the break of structure here. Pulled back. It really didn't take out any lows yet. So this XRP still could continue. Just like I think, I do think Solana, we're getting ready here for an exchange idea. Okay, we look at Solana, and I'm telling you, don't sleep on this project. We talked about what they're doing with Solang. I talked about it in the. Did you hear about the? I don't know if you were there, Kurt. The Hyperdrive Solang thing they're doing.
No.
So this is really, really big news. They released in July that, you know how like Solana is built on Rust.
Yeah.
And ETH is built on Solidity.
Yeah, like the coding language, yeah.
So I'm actually going to put my camera on for this because this is pretty exciting here.
You got to see my eyes on this one.
How do I get the damn fox off? I haven't done this in a while. Where'd the fox go? Is the fox there?
You got to
Can
go
see
to
the
the
fox?
camera. There you go.
Oh, boom. What's good, everybody? How you doing? My name's DeFi Mike. If you haven't met me before, yeah, I put my camera on sometimes. So this Hyperledger Solang allows ETH developers to now move money to Solana. And it's actually crazy because Solana right now has the same amount of new developers as ETH and as Polygon right now. So you're seeing like divergence where price is dropping, but people are still building. And this operation that they can now bridge money very easily without hacks is very, very key. And they haven't had a bad hack in over almost a year. So pretty interesting. We look at the chart, right? Low, high, okay, price fails, sweeps this, creates a low, boom, break a structure, now pulling back. What is it called? Barbecue chicken right here?
There it is.
This is the level. You know, I'm looking at this level for more of an aggressive play here, looking into this candle. And even if Bitcoin, let's say, goes to like 21, you know, maybe this goes to 12, 13, $14. You know, I'm going to drop this as an exchange ID. I think we could see exit 1 at 43, exit 2 at 130, and then exit 3. I do think if Solana survives, it can get back to the all-time high.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it could if it continues its pace. So
if we see the same consistency we've seen from any other bull run in projects like Solana that have had crazy community, crazy network effect, crazy development, like adoption alone, like this project could absolutely come back to all-time high status. I mean, and it's the nature of the market. Like we've seen it with the stocks. Like some of these stocks take hits. Like right now, like almost every stock is down like 80%, 90%. And then we've seen a crazy rally back up. So I got people looking at Tesla like Tesla's like this horrible company now. And I'm like, dude, they make like the best cars like ever. Yeah. Like, what do you mean this company's bad? Like even with Coinbase pretty much follows the trajectory of crypto. So regardless of what's going on in the stock market, if crypto's up, Coinbase is basically up, right? Like you're looking at the on-ramp for a lot of the, you know, money in America that comes into crypto is usually through Coinbase. I mean, you may not hear it talked about a lot, but yeah, they pretty much have a foothold on the crypto space in America, and they don't like competitors. So when you see the CZs and all that kind of stuff getting, you know, in trouble, I promise you, Coinbase has a hand in that. Like they're making sure that all the things that they do, they're holding every other exchange to the same standard. If the government's saying, Coinbase, we need this information, they're hounding the government to put everybody else through the ringer as well.
Yeah, no facts. I mean, Coinbase, they're making moves. I've never thought Coinbase was going to like disappear because I know how closely they're working with the people that really make the decisions. Yep. But they're putting on a show too. They're like, hey, we're going to leave the country. No, you're not.
Yeah. No, you're not. Yeah, no. Like they're hand in glove right now. We all get it. Like it's like when you guys are understanding the narrative that gets played out in the media, it becomes kind of funny. It's like it's really laughable when you see people make threats and you're like, okay, oh, sure thing, right, okay. Like even now, they're gonna keep FTX open. Like there's gonna be a new wave of FTX commercials without Sam Bankman-Fried. Like, who's going to trust this stuff? But I promise you, they're going to rebrand it. They're going to try to make it seem super trustworthy. They're going to have Joe Byron on there like, I use Coinbase. I mean FTX. Like, get out of here, Byron. Like, it's going to be a whole thing. Like, he's going to mess that up too. But it'll be a whole plan to make sure that exchange stays afloat because too many people have a you know, a say so in that stuff outside of Sam Bankman-Fried. Like, if it was up to anybody else, that thing would have been dissolved by now. Been dissolved. Like, no way would they still be trying to revitalize this crypto exchange, all while we don't have any regulation, any clear-cut rules, no ETF. Like, what's the point of keeping it open? You got to know there's a plan.
Yeah. Could you imagine that commercial? Hey, we messed up. But it's like look, we messed up. But Shaq's here, Tom Brady's still here.
Right. Like as soon as the commercial comes on, you just hear, I know. Like, yeah, okay.
Honestly, if they went with that approach, I would never like use that exchange, but I would respect them a little bit more, like, you know, a little bit, 1% more if they made a funny commercial, because the crypto community would love it. It would be a meme forever.
They're better off having a guy that does that, hey, do the commercial for him. Like, they should go find him, and the guy from BitConnect should just open up the commercial for FTX at this point.
They're gonna host the commercial in prison in a in a state county pen.
All right, family, great session. Catch you guys next week.
Yeah.
FTX commercial from jail. Listen, bro, that.
We should run the marketing for them because
that would be epic. Do it for a Super Bowl commercial, bro.
Oh man, like they filmed like The Longest Yard, wherever that was. Wherever that movie.
Sam Bankman-Fried's in jail, still hyping it up. His girlfriend comes out and she's like got her lunch tray about to sit down. It's the whole thing, dude. It's the whole thing.
Terry Crews with the cheeseburgers, you know. And
yep. Cheeseburger Eddie, let's go. We get Adam Sandler in it. It'll be a hit.
Oh man, that'll be funny.
Where can you get this kind of stuff? No place but crypto, man. No place but crypto.
Yeah.
You don't get these kind of jokes in Forex. I love my Forex family. I love Tyrone. I love the rest of the Forex fam. But crypto's just different, bro. It's like a soap opera smothered in like a Marvel movie wrapped up in a soap opera with a little bit more of like one of those like Telemundo soap operas where it really get real on those bad boys.
The stock CEOs, they're just gone. They're just in the wind. You ain't finding them anywhere.
Nope.
Unless they're like the crypto ones. But yeah, like looking at Coinbase, like Coinbase actually, you know, just looking at this real quick for education purposes, you had these lows, price created a new, you know, broke structure. You know, if this can do something like this, oh man, this be a nice little zone right here for Coinbase. So just throwing that out there on this session. But yeah, guys, great. Another great class. We got futures in 1 hour. Mm-hmm. And if you're new, hopefully you had a great time, but please go through our favorite sessions down below. Leave some feedback. Let us know how the jokes are and how the sessions are. We always appreciate those feedbacks. And I'll see you guys on DCX Futures in 1 hour.
Let's go. All right,
family. All right, guys. See ya.
Let's get it. All right, family. I appreciate you guys as always, man. This is just one of those things where we see the market giving us a pullback and we just get excited about it. I know we're cracking jokes and all that kind of stuff, but it's one of those things too where like you kind of get used to the ebbs and flows, right? And you kind of gotta laugh at it sometimes because it's very repetitive. Like the market doesn't like to repeat itself, but it definitely rhymes. And we like to make sure that you guys can see that and take advantage of that over and over and over. So you got to be on the sessions, you got to be on the futures calls, you got to be on these locked in with myself and Mike and Nick and Charlie and Danny and Maurice. And we want to make sure that you guys can really just gather that value and keep utilizing it day in and day out. Because I'm telling you now, the skill set that you guys have, that you're developing, the average person on the street just doesn't have it. And they're not gonna have it, right? You guys are like decades ahead, not just for the simple sake of saying, hey, I understand crypto. You understand charts, you understand structure, you understand the narratives, the sentiment of the market. Like it's different when you guys see, you know, news updates for non-farm payroll or FOMC meetings or CPI and all that kind of stuff. Like it hits different for you. It just hits different for you. Like it's not just noise. Like you see it and you understand it. We find our levels and then we look for our areas of attack. Right? And most people just aren't in that headspace to take advantage of it. And you think about what the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years are going to look like for you guys. It's game changer. So being here now, and once again, I have to keep reiterating this. These future sessions that's coming up now, like in the next like hour, these future sessions that you guys are tuning into, they're more important than you know. But I just want you guys to keep showing up because down the line, when we start seeing the volatility ramp up and we start getting all the news updates that we're looking for, we get the rate cuts, we get the ETFs, we get the regulation, we get all of those things moving, and it starts really lining up for the next big run in the market, you're gonna realize how important those future sessions were that you've been attending for week after week after week. You're gonna look back at your portfolio. You're gonna look back at your MT4 or whatever platform you're utilizing, and you're gonna have that. Oh, because I wouldn't be able to do this if I wasn't on the future. Because now I've accumulated, and now I have the opportunity to start taking it. Got it. Don't that just beat all? Because a lot of you guys come in and you're like, man, I just don't have the capital to start this stuff. It's crazy. But like being able to come into the future sessions, you do that bit by bit, little by little, with the right risk to reward attached to it, and it hits different, right? Being on a minute chart, on a 3-minute, 5-minute chart, it's different, family. It's different. But some of you guys miss out on it because you're so busy riding the excitement, you don't realize the value. Right? And I want you guys to really be in that gratitude for what this is, because this is not binary options. And I'm not knocking binary options. This is not any of that other stuff where the risk to reward is off and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's all risk to reward centered. So a good week, a good month, a good year goes so far when you do this stuff the right way. We want you guys to feel that feeling of doing it the right way, doing it in a sustainable way. Right? Because sometimes you come into crypto and you see what we do on Swipecoin, you're like, sheesh, these are some big stop losses. I don't know if I can do this on a regular MT4. Right? It's a little daunting. It's a little scary. But then when you're on the future session, you're like, this is only like a minute chart. This is like maybe, 50 pips, 20 pips on somebody. I can do this. Like it hits different. And we still talking about crypto. Right? It's unheard of. Right? So you guys have that opportunity to come in and just really, really, really see how it's done and get that duplication going on, family. But I keep trying to tell you guys, it's not the number one in America for fun. It's not the number one in America by chance. Like, it's the number one in America because what we're showing you guys is sustainable, duplicatable thought processes that allow you to really come in and execute a different thought process in the market. All right. Some people think it's not possible. It's no way you can do it. And it's like, you guys are seeing it done week in and week out. All right. If it didn't work, it wouldn't be number one. All right. So I appreciate you guys. I want to reiterate that because I don't think sometimes futures really gets the credit that it deserves. Like, it's not easy what you see these guys doing every week with you, but they're showing you a way where it can become easy by developing the right habits and the right thought processes. All right. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And we'll catch up with you guys later on this evening. I got 9 o'clock. I'm doing mindset with you guys. So definitely can't wait to hop on with you guys and knock that out. Definitely always loving doing mindset, opening up the week. So jump on that futures call 1 hour from now. Yes, I've eaten, family. All right. I had some macaroni and cheese before I came up here. That's why I keep drinking this water, because I was ready to take a nap. I ain't gonna lie. I had the itis. It hit me. I was yawning for a minute. But no, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys later on this evening at 9. Love you guys. Stay patient. Now listen, stay patient, stay disciplined, and the gains will come. We out, family. Love you guys. Stay blessed.